Imagine the streets of the 1800s. People walking, horses, chariots, and electric vehicles. Yes, in the 1800s, the streets were quiet, literally, because the first cars weren't running on petrol. They were electric. By 1890s, electric vehicles were already on the roads of the United States. They were smooth, easy to drive, and didn't smell or shake like their steam competitors. Petrol cars existed, but they were loud, messy, and difficult to start. Some needed a hand crank so strong that people broke bones doing it. Do you know by the 1900s, almost 1/3 of all cars in America were electric? Even famous inventors like Thomas Edison thought the future was electric. But everything changed when Henry Ford stepped in. Stay tuned for part 2. It's 1908. Henry Ford had just created the Model T. This was a petrol car, and he had few revolutionary things going for it. It was cheap to build, cheap to buy, and easy to repair. Suddenly, these petrol cars were everywhere. Meanwhile, electric vehicles at that time were facing serious challenges. Batteries couldn't hold long-range charge, and even if they could, where would you plug one in? The charging infrastructure simply didn't exist. And then came the final blow. They discovered massive amounts of crude oil in Texas. And so gasoline became ridiculously cheap. And just like that, petrol cars became the people's car. And electric vehicles, they just faded into the shadows. For nearly 100 years, petrol cars ruled the road. But the story wasn't over. Stay tuned for part 3. Petrol cars brought speed, distance, and power. But they also brought a lot of problems. By the 1970s, people began to ask, is there a cleaner way? The world at the time was seeking an alternative, and the old electric dream was reborn. The 1970s fuel crisis forced the world to rethink energy. Governments began exploring electric vehicles again. But at the time, EVs were still very, very weak. EVs were slow, had short ranges, and batteries were expensive. They weren't ready. Until the 1990s, brands like General Motors created the EV1. The very first modern EVs. Drivers loved it, but the oil and auto industries didn't. Soon after, the EV1 was cancelled. Most units were destroyed. It then seems as though the electric dream was over again. Until a small startup came along. The early 2000s came and Tesla enters the scene. Now, instead of building small and weak EVs, they built powerful electric sport cars that were fast, stylish, and had serious range. Suddenly, electric vehicles wasn't just eco-friendly, it was cool. Battery tech evolved, government pushed for clean energy, and charging infrastructure grew. Now, the biggest automakers like Mercedes, BYD, Toyota, Dongfeng, Ford, all now build EVs. After well over 100 years, electric vehicles didn't just return, they took the lead. It only gets better from here. The question is, will you be part of history?